Hello and welcome to The Pipeline. I'm your host, OG Pickle, and we're in for a treat today. We're doing something a little different. As both a competitive esport and a casual game, Valorant has been growing rapidly, with professional players from Counter-Strike to Overwatch participating. Now, this past fall, eFuse has hosted several Valorant combines that feature top players throughout the country, and as the eFuse Top 100 leaderboards are solidifying their rankings, we wanted to give a sneak peek into some of the incredible talents that are participating and existing in North America. I'd love to welcome you, Net, a top 27 Valorant player in North America that is quickly establishing himself as one of the best high school recruits. What's up, dude? How are you today?
Hey, what's up, guys? Thank you so much for having me today. I'm super excited about this opportunity, and I look forward to talking about the competitive scene in Valorant.
That's awesome, man. Absolutely. I think it's important that we get to know a little bit about you. I mean, obviously being good at a game is one thing. It's probably something you hang your hat on the most, but tell me a little bit about yourself. Can you let the viewers in on the life of Net? Like what goes on behind the scenes? Who are you as a person?
Oh, for sure. Oh, yeah. So in real life, my name is Michael Burnett. My in-game name is Net. Currently, I'm a senior at Coronado High School in Henderson, Nevada. If you want to know more about me outside of the game, I've currently played varsity lacrosse for 4 years, and for about I think I've played lacrosse for 9 years total in my life, and I played football for 6 of those years. And honestly, I started playing Valorant when it first came out in the beta, but whatever. Originally, before that, I amassed about 4,000 hours in CS:GO, and I was in love with that game. So transitioning to Valorant just felt natural to me, and I truly fell in love with the game. And when I first started playing it, honestly, it's been an incredible experience to date. In the Valorant community, I'm most known for taking taking a lot of aim fights, and right now, I'm ranked Radiant, and on the NA leaderboards, I'm ranked 27th in the nation, 27th in the country. Yeah, so it's pretty cool.
That's awesome, man. Now I want to slow it down real quick because there's a lot of things I want to learn about you too. All right, yeah. I know you're a sharpshooter. Your stats speak for themselves. Tell me a little bit, because I know a lot of recruiters are gonna be watching this. They're gonna want to know a little bit more too. Like, where did the name Net come from? How did you come up with Net? Because that's as a streamer myself, we all have our identities and our personas. Where did Net come from? What can you tell me about it?
Yeah, so it's pretty weird because my name used to be Embernet0, and that came from like my email. Like you know when you sign up for a Google email and it just gives you
yeah, of course.
Yeah, it just gives you a random thing. And I was like, when I started playing and I started getting good at games, and when people some people would say like Emberneto, and I was like, that sounds kind of dumb. So I was like, let's change it up. And I was like, maybe Net0, because I started talking with my friends. I was like, hey guys, what should I change my name to? And they're like Net0, and I'm like, that sounds kind of long, and I was like, how about Net? And they're like, yeah, that sounds pretty cool. And I was like, you know what, let's go with that.
So it's just a flash in the pan. Hey guys, yeah. I just need a name change. You just threw it out there. I like that though, you know.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's a simple process. You know, some people make that way too cumbersome, and then I get on here and I ask them the details of it, and it's a 30-minute story, and then it dwindles down to something that could have been super basic. But that's cool. Yeah. What I really like about that story, Net, and the reason I slowed it down is because I can tell you're super passionate. I can tell, and I can hear it in your voice that you're not only passionate about gaming in general, but about Valorant. It's very inspiring to hear someone so talented with such great success at a young age that still has the passion to get better and the excitement, and it's refreshing as someone who's been in the industry a long time. Can you talk to me about what it took to get to this level of talent, though? You talked a little bit about putting thousands of hours into CS:GO. You know, pre-Valorant, but can you talk to me a little bit about that hard work and dedication and the time you put in? Tell me a little bit more about what led up to this opportunity.
Well, yeah. Honestly, I've played probably a countless amount of hours in Valorant, but to gauge it more accurately, I play about 8 hours a day. Yeah, it's been a journey, but I love grinding. I love the fight to see better, because it's just a thing. Like personally, whenever I do something, if I'm not the best at it, I'm never satisfied. Like I never settle for. I guess I don't like being complacent. I always just like being better and improving upon my imperfections, if that makes sense. And yeah. I just realized in Act 2, when I started playing against these guys that I looked up to in Counter-Strike, and I started dominating them in games, and they were calling me a cheater or just like a stream sniper, it made me smile, because it really gave me the idea that I can actually make it and compete at a high level. Yeah, and I just think with my mindset, my attention to detail, I just think I can be great and be one of the best in the game. And honestly, so far it's been a blessing to see that pay off. But in my opinion, I still have so much to grow and improve upon, and I think I could be so much better.
You know, I love that. I think for people that have watched traditional sports, for people that have been in any kind of industry, whether it be entertainment or competition in general, there is a reoccurring theme, right? There's that self-belief that you talked about, the confidence in yourself to be better, but then also taking down the lion, right? Like a lot of traditional basketball players or football players will say, like, when I got into the league, I was so nervous. I knew I had raw talent, but then I went up against the guy that I thought was the best, and I actually compete, and you almost surprise yourself, right? You almost say, like,
Yeah.
holy crap, like, I just took that guy out, and I can beat him. It's kind of like in boxing, I threw the punch, and it landed, and I can't believe it. So that, it's really exciting because I can relate to that story. I mean, whether you're creating content, whether you're trying to be competitive, it's funny once you get there, you realize that you can actually take the swing, you can actually make the jump, and you do belong there. So that to me is awesome. I'm again, I said it this earlier. I've been in the industry so long, it's just nice and inspiring to see some of this young talent come up that still has that, like, I haven't lost it, but like, you put the miles on. But
Yeah.
this is truly inspiring. I want to delve a little bit deeper. All right, you said you play about 8 hours a day. Give me a little bit more specifics. Like what does a typical day look like? So you waking up to bed.
Well, typical day looks like I usually wake up at about like 5 a.m. ish, 6 a.m. and then I usually go on a run because I think physical health I think it really helps with mental health, and I think with a good mental health, it greatly increases performance in game. And then after that run, I usually get home, take a shower and stuff, and then I get ready to go to school, hop out at 8 a.m. And then as soon as I'm done with that at 1 a.m., I go straight to the gym because I think it's important to get, like I said, physical health is really important, and it just really helps my performance in sports. And after, as soon as I'm done with that, I get home at about like 3. I get home about 3, and then I hop straight on Valorant, and then I think I can't really tell you how long I played because just playing the game, it's just so much fun that I lose track of time. And sometimes it's kind of bad because sometimes sleep is lost, but I mean, what can you do doing the thing you love, you know what I mean? It kind of happens sometimes. You lose. Yeah.
That's and I want to take note because there's going to be a lot of people watching in the professional industry. I really have to give kudos here. Having the forethought of going on a run and taking care of physical health and having the maturity to understand that the game on the digital front is only half the battle. It's also that physical mental health.
Yeah.
We could get into a whole podcast. We could get into a whole talk about the challenges of mental health in the gaming community, whether you're streaming or you're putting the pressure on you from a competitive standpoint. But I just want to say that is awesome to hear that you take care of your body too, because while some people will say, oh, this isn't like traditional sports, this isn't football, it still has a mind game to it. It's still, you have to not only train your mind, but in order to be good to train your mind, having that physical attribute to be healthy, both physically and mentally. I can't tell you how far ahead you are in life, as I didn't learn that out until I was late 20s. So kudos on that. I want to scratch the surface just a little bit deeper. So you're a great player. You're clearly top 27 in the country. You have the confidence to shoot your shot. You're doing the things behind the scenes to run, take care of your mental health. How do you get better? We're talking percentiles here of increases. What do you do to get better from here? Who do you potentially mimic or watch? Like, talk to me about where your headspace is right now as you start to dial it in even further.
For sure. I would say as I was looking for ways to improve, I started watching people who were better than me. And yeah, something that I learned that was super great from someone on the Team Sentinels, his in-game name is Dapper, is whenever you're playing, right, you can't control your teammates. You can only control what you do in game. So I think it's super important, even though Valorant's a 5v5 game, say you kill 4 people, the guy can still win the 1v5, right? And even if he does win that 1v5, you have to analyze and sit down and be like, I did kill those 4 guys, right? But what could I have done to get that 5th kill to secure my team the round? And just make it easier and just make it so that you're a better player all around. And yeah, and to answer your question, for some of the people that I look up to, I would say some people like on Sentinels like Sinatra, Dapper, FaZe Corey, FaZe Tens, and also some of my friends, Tidy, and then Jaylee. And yeah, I would say I just love watching their mechanics, their game sense, just everything they do that has made them a professional player at this point. And yeah, I just honestly right now I'm just trying to like copy their gameplay, just nitpick their brain, and just so I can be at that point where I'm a professional player and I get paid to play the game.
Yeah, it's best practices, my man. I mean, you
Yeah.
can benchmark. You could probably make that case in an industry, whether it's business or esports or in any kind of line of work. Exploring other players that you consider better, taking what you like and discarding what you don't like, and making it on your own. It's impressive. And I'd imagine, taking all these steps that we talked about will allow you, as you look at colleges, to kind of pick the program you want. I mean, you're at a fortune right now because you're one of the better players in the country. You'll have that opportunity to pick where you want to go. eFuse is currently doing a lot of work to be able to unite you to those places and make that communication effort, a lot smoother, an easier transition, a lot more exposure. That's the things we're doing on our end, because these things that you're telling me right here are amazing. I mean, I think that they need to be amplified. They need to be broadcasted, because not only are we seeing your stats, but we're learning a little bit more about your mindset. And I think equally as important to college coaches that I've interviewed, they're going to say the same thing. Not only do we want talented players, but we want players that have the right headspace, that match our culture, that match the work ethic we want. And I think this is amazing. What I want from you is, can you tell me some important decisions for you personally? We know what recruiters are probably going to look for. What will be some important decisions and factors for you as you kind of head into the collegiate scene and choose a program that's right for you?
Oh yeah, I would say personally for me, the top 3 decision factors would be one, I really want to go to med school, so I would say having a good STEM program is really important. I'd say 2, I think having like a good scholarship, just like a way for to help the players play for tuition, because I think college is really expensive.
Sure.
And 3, I would just say to have like a team with a good, I would say, just a team that's really dedicated and they care, because I just really want to improve and succeed, and I really don't like losing. So I'm just, yeah. So I haven't really narrowed any decisions down, but I'm always keeping my options open. But I really like the schools that compete at the highest level. However, I'm also looking at the programs that I can help build. But being from Nevada, it would be really nice to represent my home state.
Love that, my man. I think you got a lot of good things going for you. I see some of my producers on the side nodding. We're all kind of sitting here going, yep, he's got it. There's an X factor here, and I would agree with that too. Well, that was the Pipeline interview. I think you did great, but there's one more thing. I have to throw the curveball at you. We've got a lightning round. Now, this is going to choose. Wow. This is going to pick your brain and see how fast you can kind of give me some responses. Keep them short. Let's go for like a sentence or two. We'll put 60 seconds on the clock. I'm going to ask you about 6 questions, rapid fire, and then we'll close it out. Sound good?
Sounds great.
All right, here we go. And go. The best thing about competing in collegiate esports is?
Winning and just improving.
Love that. In 5 years, what would you like to be doing?
Playing professional esports.
The best French fries are from?
Raising Cane's.
Great answer. Name a reason someone wouldn't make their bed in the morning.
Because they woke up really late and they have to go to school.
I prefaced that because the bed wasn't made prior, but we hooked it up. He asked for some extra time. Anyway, Give me one of the best pieces of advice you've ever received, and you can slow it down here if you need more
time. One of the best pieces of advice I've ever received is just really to just, I don't know, appreciate the little things in life, and you just have to work. You have to work hard for what you have to work hard for what you really want to achieve, because nothing is really given. Because as soon as you're in the real world, it's way different, and you just have to like work. You have to work way harder than everyone for what you really want to achieve. It's not just. Yeah, I don't really know how to word it, because if I had more time, I think I'd be able to word it, since we only have a minute. But I'd just say, always work your hardest and just never look back.
Net, my man, that was a great interview, brother. I loved having you here. I can tell you from experience, from being in this a long time, you keep that headspace, you keep that mental, physical health, you keep that competitive nature, and you always have that fire that you think you can take down the next big guy. I promise, dude, you're going to keep sliding up the leaderboards, and I imagine we'll see you in the top 5. If we're not careful, though. I appreciate you. Thanks for being here. Remember the name Pipeline. Remember the name Net, because those two are going to be a household name soon, especially my man Net over here. Congrats again on your success. We're all proud of you here at eFuse. Stay tuned. This guy's got big stuff coming up. Keep an eye on this guy, and we'll see you next time on the Pipeline, powered by eFuse. Thanks, guys. We'll see you later. Thanks, Net.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.